Now let's get into it. All right, Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. All right, this beast represents NATO and the EU. All right, which Russia is not a part of this beast. All right, because you have some people that believe that Russia is part of the beast. All right, but they're not. All right, they're going to be the ones to end the beast. All right, they're going to be the ones that the Lord's going to use to end this beast, but they're not part of the beast. They're not part of NATO EU. All right, it says having 7 heads and 10 horns. Now the 7 heads represent 7 major kingdoms of Esau. All right, that ruled. You know, the first kingdom that the first Edomite kingdom that ruled was the Greeks. You know, then you had the Romans, and you had the French, and you had the Spaniards, and the Germanian Major, and Germanian Minor, and Britain. You know, I'm not saying in complete order, but those were the 7 nations of Edom that ruled, right? And it says and 10 horns. All right, now if you go into the 10 horns, you know, which represent the EU. All right, the EU nations. All right, you know, you had back in 1957, and you know, I think 1957, 1958, you had something called the Treaty of Rome. All right, which countries? The countries are Netherlands. You had Netherlands. You had Belgium. You had France. You had Italy. You had Germany. That signed on the Treaty of Rome, and then later on you had other European nations like Luxembourg, Greece, Ireland that were added onto. All right, it says and upon his horns 10 crowns. All right, 10 crowns just represent, you know, them having dominion, or having rulership over the earth. All right, it says, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right, what are the blasphemy that Esau and these Edomites are saying? That they are God, that God looks like them, they are the chosen people of God. All right, that's blasphemy. Okay, verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. This leopard represents the first kingdom, the first nation that ruled of Edom, the Greeks. All right, the Greeks. You know, you had Alexander the Great, that, you know, that the Lord used to take down the mighty Persians, the Medes and the Persians. You know, other nations looked at him crazy, you know, but when he went up against the Medes and the Persians, but the Lord was with them. All right, you can read that in Daniel's 8. All right, it says and his feet were as the feet of a bear. All right, which the feet of the bear are the Russians. All right, remember, the feet are the ones that represent the end of something, and the Lord's going to use the Russians to end the beast society. All right, but Russians are not a part of the beast like some people may believe. They're not. All right, they're just going to be the ones that are going to destroy this beast. They're going to be the ones that the Lord's going to use to come up against the beast. All right, NATO and the EU. All right, it says, in his mouth as the mouth of a lion. This represents Great Britain. It says, and the dragon gave him his power. The dragon is the Roman Empire, and his seat and great authority. All right, so let's get Jeremiah 51 and 28. It says, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble. And the Medes, they represent the Russians of today. All right, the kings of the Medes represent the Russians. All right, and the Lord is going to have the Russians, which also mentioned in Revelation 13 and 2, the feet of the bear, to come up against Babylon. All right, what are they going to do? It says, and the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. And what's gonna cause Babylon to be a desolation and without an inhabitant? The missiles, because the Lord's gonna have these nations, all right, to shoot missiles at this place. All the nations that have nuclear capability, the Lord's going to use them to shoot missiles at this place and to make them to make Babylon, America, uninhabitable. All right, no one's going to be able to live here. All right, but desert creatures. All right, it says the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds, because remember, this World War III is not just going to start off a nuclear war. It is going to start off, these nations sending in their soldiers to fight each other. All right, but that's what it's going to turn out to be. It is going to turn out to be a nuclear war, because if you read in Isaiah 9:5, it says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Right, back in the ancient world, when you went to war, you fought with swords, spears, and shields and all that. It was close combat. You had blood upon you, and it was very close combat. It's not like today you got guns and helicopters and tanks and all that. Nah. You may have had ancient tanks, like, they used elephants. The Greeks, they like to use elephants. That was like a tank. And I believe the Romans, they had something like a tank themselves. I forgot what it was called, but they had something like a tank. All right, because remember, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just everything is modernized. Like knowledge grew. All right, now it says but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Right, and what's that? The nuclear missiles. All right, and this is what this war is going to be fought with, man. This is what this war is going to turn out to be. All right, it's going to turn out to be a nuclear war. It's going to start off, nations having the soldiers fight each other, but eventually it's going to start off a nuclear war. And this is why when you go back to Jeremiah 51:30, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They're not going to want to fight because they find out that America's been destroyed. America's been hit with missiles. Because them soldiers that be sent off to war in the Middle East, these American soldiers, they're going to be sent off thinking that they're fighting for their country. They're defending their country. But what's the point of fighting and defending if they find out the country is destroyed? And this is why it says right here, they have remained in their holds. All right, barracks. All right, it says they might have failed them. They might have failed, right? They're not gonna want to fight. Their spirit is broken because, they find out their loved ones in America are dead, burnt up. All right, they have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. All right, one post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. All right, let's read that in NLT. It says, bring against the armies of the nations, lead by the kings of the Medes. Right, led by the kings of the Medes and all her captains and officers. You know what? I should have started off at 27. All right. I was. You know what? No, it's cool. It's cool. Slocky. It says bring against the armies of the nations, led by the kings of the Medes and all her captains and officers, because you're gonna have the Russians are gonna be the ones that are gonna start off shooting missiles at this place. They're gonna be the ones that are gonna lead. All right, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna first press the button. All right, and then all nations, even America's allies, are gonna follow along. It's gonna turn out to be a nuclear war. All right, in a nuclear war, you don't just shoot one and that's it. No, you're gonna shoot everything. You might as well, because if you're shooting at one missile, or missiles coming back, so you might as well hit more and more. And that's what eventually is gonna happen. All right, it's gonna turn out to a nuclear war led by the Russians. All right, and all our captains and officers. All right, the earth trembles and withers in pain, for everything the Lord has planned against Babylon stands unchanged. Babylon will be left desolate without a single inhabitant. So no one's gonna live in Babylon. All right, which goes to show you that this is referring to America, not Iraq, because people like to say, "Well, Babylon is in that." Well, there's people living in Iraq right now. All right, there's people living in ancient Babylon. All right, if you go into the history, it was taken down by Darius. It wasn't no war. It wasn't the wars. What's his name? I think his name was it was Nebuchadnezzar's son. You know, they had a dinner. Belteshazzar, I think. Let me double check before I'm just gonna find out the name. Daniel 7. I think Daniel's. Yeah, Belshazzar. Belshazzar. All right, taken down by Darius. All right, it wasn't. You could read Daniel's 5. Go into that, but yeah, Babylon is America. All right, and what we're reading is future prophecy. All right, this is not already happened. This is getting ready to happen. All right, and the stage is being set. All right, that's why the Lord's having these nations break off the treaties. Now, let's go to Jeremiah 50, and we'll end it on there. Because this is why all this is happening. This is why Russia, NATO, and America cannot get along, because the Lord is making them like that, man. The Lord has angels working on these leaders' minds, or making sure that everything go as planned. Because what the plan of the Lord is for this place to be destroyed. All right, but steps have to be taken. We're seeing them steps being made right in front of our eyes. This is Jeremiah 50 and 25. It says, the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, which are the missiles. All right, the weapons of the Lord's indignation are the missiles. Indignation basically means righteous anger, man. All right, because really, you read Isaiah 54 and 16, it'll tell you that the Lord's the one that created the smith. All right, he's the one that gave Esau the technology to create these missiles, because really those missiles are part of his armory, and he's going to open up his armory and bring forth those weapons to destroy America, because the Lord has great indignation against his place. It says, for this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from utmost borders, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay all her bullocks down. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for the day is come, the time of the visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord, our power, the vengeance of his temple. All right, because who's going to escape this destruction? Who's going to flee from Babylon? All right, the elect, because at the same time America's being hit with missiles, the Lord is going to save the elect. All right, the elect, the 1/3 from this place, from America. The 2/3 of our people are going to be left down here and die. All right, you can read that in Zechariah 13 and 8. It says, verse 29, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, right, all that have nuclear missiles. All right, now you got to think about it like this. Jeremiah, this was a vision that he saw. Like it says in Habakkuk, a vision was given to a vision was said to happen at an appointed time. All right. Jeremiah was given this vision. All right. And we're coming to that appointed time where this vision that he received is about to be fulfilled. All right. So call together. This is Jeremiah. He saw all this. He saw America being hit with missiles. All right. Isaiah saw it too. John. They just described it differently. All right. They described it what the visions looked like, and reminded them like the missiles. All right. Jeremiah saw the missiles shooting Jeremiah saw the missiles hitting this place. Jeremiah saw the missiles. He saw the nations shooting missiles at this place. He probably saw the missiles leaving the silos. And what reminded, when he saw that, it reminded him, all right, this probably, man, that looks like an arrow. So that's probably like a bow. He saw all that. So you couldn't say, oh, you got the Russians and you got the Russians. They put the code and the nuclear. They turned the key. They weren't words like that back then. All right. He wrote down what it looked like to him. All right. It says, all you that bend the bow, camp against it round about. So basically, all nations that have nuclear capability, including America's allies, all right, come up against it round about. So every nation that has missiles, all right, are going to come up against this place. All right, let none thereof escape, right? Because they're going to shoot everything they got. They're not going to leave one be hanging. And it's not just going to be, it's going to be nuclear missiles. You're going to have they're going to shoot everything, man. All right, you might as well. It's a nuclear war. You know you're getting hit with missiles back, so you might as well shoot everything that you got. It says, recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. And we see that. All right, we see that America has, we see that, America, not Edom, all right, America has been proud against the Lord. All right, thinking that this place could ever be destroyed, thinking that God bless this place. Fuck out, F out of here, excuse my language. This place is done, man. This place is going down the drain. All right, we're just waiting for a few major prophecy, man. And that's the major one that we're looking out for is the R5 Egypt. All right, and then World War III, and then the return of our Lord Yahweh Shah to save us from what's getting ready to happen to this place, man. All right, because the Lord is gonna save His elect. All right, we're not gonna be touched from the fire. We're gonna be delivered. All right, we're gonna witness all this, man. We're gonna witness Babylon being destroyed. All right, we're gonna witness missiles hitting this place, man. All right, we just hope that we're of the elect and we endure it all the way to the end. But with that, I'll end it there. I hope you brothers edified. I'm gonna give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Barakadash. Shalom.